Hello everyone, my name is Kyle, and welcome back to TSW Warriors, where we talk about healing from topical steroid withdrawal using cold atmospheric plasma therapy. Today, I will walk you through what it is like to get a session of CAP therapy here in Thailand to treat your TSW. But make sure that you stick around to the end of the video as I will be explaining the 3 biggest factors that you'll need to manage and avoid in order to heal your TSW and get the most out of each CAP session. But before we start, if you feel that you get some value from this channel and you would like to support me as I receive treatment and get this information out to the world, then I would please ask you to consider donating to my GoFundMe. Any and all donations would be greatly appreciated. And if you would like to see updates about my treatment and life here in Thailand, then you can follow me on my Instagram. All the links are down below. Now let's get into it. Before you have your first session, you will first have an assessment with the CAP clinic staff where they will check the current condition of your TSW. During this assessment, you will be asked about your history of steroid use, and you will also learn more behind the theory of TSW and how the cold atmospheric plasma treatment helps accelerate healing for TSW skin. This assessment could last up to 2 hours, so this would be a good time to ask any questions you might have. Although you might be eager to start your treatment as soon as possible, if you have just arrived in Thailand, then you will need to wait a few days to see if your skin starts to show signs of healing while you are at your accommodations. If your skin is flaring for several days after the plane ride, then you may have to switch accommodations, as it might be likely that you are being exposed to irritants at your current spot. Once healing signs such as flaking and remodeling lines begin to appear on your skin, then you will know that you are in a suitable healing environment, and then you can begin your first treatment. Your treatments will be once a week, and each time you come in, you'll be examined by the CAP clinic staff as they look for improvements on your skin compared to the previous week's session. They will also be monitoring any infections that you might have and looking to see if it is remaining under control and clearing up. Your session length will depend on how much of your body is affected by TSW and the severity of those affected areas. You could spend up to 2 hours or longer on the table for each session, so it would be a good idea to have a snack and maybe use the restroom before you start. One question you might have is if the treatment is at all painful. For the most part, the CAP therapy is painless, unless you have areas with oozing or broken skin. If you do have spots like this, then you can expect to feel some zapping sensations from the plasma pen. Do not worry though, the technicians will do their best to make you feel as comfortable as possible during your session. If some of your more sensitive areas are affected by TSW, then make sure you let the staff know so that you can be treated properly and privately. Overall, I find the treatment to be relaxing enough to sleep through, although some patients might describe it as slightly ticklish. Once your session is over, your skin will probably feel a little stiff as you get up off the table. I like to describe this feeling as if the very top layer has been zapped off due to the treatment, and you can expect this feeling to last for the next 2 days while your skin recovers. After you leave the clinic, you should head straight back to your condo and shower off as soon as possible, followed by applying CJ serum to any of your affected areas. For the next 48 hours, your skin is going to be extra sensitive to sunlight and irritants, so it is recommended that you take it easy during this time period to focus on resting and recovering while staying at your accommodations. This would be an ideal time to catch up on some sleep, watch some Netflix, or to get some work done. Just prepare beforehand by buying plenty of groceries so that you will not need to go out and pick up anything, or you can always just order food for delivery. You will also notice an increased amount of itching and flaking over the next few days following your treatment. This is normal, and it will gradually decrease over your treatment period as your skin starts to heal and get stronger. Even after you start to see improvements from the CAP treatment, you will still need to refrain from going out too much until your skin begins to get stronger. You do not want to overdo things by going out and risking possible irritant exposure, which could further set back your healing time. So get comfortable with staying inside and focusing on healing. You will gain back your independence and freedom in time. Be aware that the process of healing TSW with the CAP therapy is not always straightforward. If your condition is more severe, or you are dealing with complications such as infections or irritant exposure, it may take up to several months before you see significant improvements in your condition. So try your best to manage your expectations and remain patient. If all of the conditions are right and you are in a proper healing environment, then the CAP treatment is extremely effective for healing TSW. In my personal experience with the CAP treatments, since my TSW was fairly mild when I first started, it only took about 4 to 5 sessions before my skin looked almost completely clear, although it was still very thin and obviously had a long way to go. Now, in order to heal from TSW and to get the most out of each CAP session, there are 3 categories of factors and triggers that you will need to try your best to manage and keep under control. If you are not able to avoid or control these factors, then you may be stuck in TSW even longer than necessary, and the healing time from the treatments could be further prolonged. The first category of factors are all things that do not involve touching your skin. These factors are stress, not enough sleep, drinking alcohol, food allergies, spicy and fermented food, menstruation, and physical illness such as getting a fever. Now, obviously, it can be hard to control these factors, but you might notice an increase in flaring when you start to feel sick or if you decide to go out for a drink with a friend. The second category of factors all involve touching your skin and include scratching, rubbing, hitting, and picking of the skin. Now, I understand and I know that feeling of the bone-deep itch that is associated with TSW, but try your best to practice gentle and mindful scratching so that your skin can rest while it regenerates. I found that using ice packs on particularly itchy areas can help calm it down, or by gently tapping with my fingertips on itchy spots can provide some relief. Now onto the third group of factors, which are the most important, as they can be the most damaging and are the most difficult to control. These all pertain to allergies, irritants, and infections. Allergens, such as environmental or food allergies, are genetic, and they will cause a reaction when you come into contact with them, whether you are in TSW or not. You may already know what triggers your allergies if you have taken an allergy test in the past. Infections of the skin are usually straightforward, and they should be addressed with the proper medication as soon as possible. Fungal infections, however, need a little bit more time and care to treat, as antifungal medications are known to cause TSW flare-ups. Irritants are the most important and often overlooked factor when it comes to healing TSW. Irritants come from chemicals that we encounter on an everyday basis, such as from disinfectants, detergents, cosmetics, even the dust and fumes from construction sites. When our skin is normal and healthy, it is strong enough to handle coming into contact with these chemicals with no reaction, which is why we so easily fail to notice how often we are actually exposed while in TSW. Because the skin is thin and weak due to TSW, you will have noticeable signs on your skin when you come into contact with irritants, such as inflammation and increased itchiness. The stronger the irritant and the longer you are exposed, the more severe the reaction will be, depending on your skin's thickness and current healing rate. The effects of short-term exposure are generally short-lived, as your skin can heal from these rather quickly. However, long-term exposure, if it is left unresolved, can cause flare-ups that can affect you mentally and could possibly even reverse your healing progress. If you are starting to show signs of a flare-up, then you will need to think hard about what has changed in your daily routine that could be causing it. By going through all of the details about what goes on in your day-to-day life, you can identify what possible irritants you might have been exposed to. Think about where you have gone, how you got there, and if you have brought anything new into your accommodations recently. Most of the time it is something that you wouldn't expect, such as leaving empty packaging in your condo, as these are often disinfected with chemicals before they are shipped out. My advice for avoiding irritants is simply just to follow your nose. If it smells like chemicals, then it needs to be avoided. And if you go out for prolonged periods of time, make sure that you shower as soon as you get back to your accommodations so that you wash off any particles from your skin. Once you are able to get all of these factors under control as much as possible, then you should begin to see rapid improvements on your skin from the CAP therapy. And even if you aren't getting CAP therapy, minimizing these factors will help your skin heal faster from TSW. Hang in there. You are not alone, and you will make it through this. Thank you for watching until the end of the video. If you know someone else who is currently in TSW, then please share my videos with them, as I've made it my mission to get this information out to the world and give others hope. Don't forget to like and subscribe. If you have any questions, leave them down in the comments below and I will get back to you as soon as possible. If you would like to support me, you can donate to my GoFundMe or you can follow me on my Instagram. I look forward to seeing you all again very soon.